Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Auntie Lara, and if you're just joining us, you're welcome to my channel. Do well to share my video, like, and comment. So in today's lesson, we'll be treating some practice questions for GCE, NECO, and WAEC. A word or phrase that is repeated at a regular interval in a poem or a play is dirge, refrain, lullaby, verse, and the answer is refrain. It could be a single line that is repeated at the end of each stanza. So whenever you come across that and then you see that a particular line is being repeated, that is an example of a refrain. A novel can be described as a narration of facts, a story, a brief description of a concept or point of view, an extended prose or narrative covering a wide range of characters and experience. And our answer is D. A novel is an extended prose or narrative covering a wide range of character and experience. 3. The warriors conquered my men and my country. The warriors conquered my men and my country. Is it paradox, litotes, parallelism, or zeugma? And the answer is zeugma. So yeah, we see that they have tried as much as possible to avoid unnecessary repetition. So zeugma is when you use one word to modify two other words in two different ways. So we see here that the warriors have conquered his men and his country had been taken over. Okay, so instead of saying it in two different sentences, he has put it together. And another example is she broke his car and his heart. So obviously they've broken up, and in the same vein, she has spoiled his car. These guys in drama mostly portrays the theme of known identity, plain identity, unknown identity, mistaken identity. And of course, the answer is mistaken identity. For those of you that have read She Stooped to Conquer, you will see that there is a case of mistaken identity. Men swift to get things done do not run their commanding. So we see done and run, done, run, on. Okay, the underlying words exemplify pun, end rhyme, paradox, and internal rhyme. And the answer is internal rhyme. Now, when you see questions like this, it's usually in the line of poem. It, your rhyme, of course, you know that there are different types of rhyme, right? We have the I rhyme, we have the end rhyme, we have the internal rhyme, we have the feminine and the masculine rhyme. Okay, and of course, for the I rhyme is when you see words and at first what comes to your mind is that, oh, these words rhymes the same, but when you pronounce it, when you pronounce each of the words, you now realize that they only look the same, they do not sound the same. For internal rhyme, there are words that rhyme but are in the line of the poem. End rhyme are the rhyming words that appear at the end of the poem. Internal, inside, that is why it is called internal, inside the poem. End rhyme at the end of the poem. I rhyme, they look as though they are going to be pronounced the same way, but when you eventually pronounce it, you will realize that they both sound differently. An aside in drama is used mostly to create a sense of admiration, conspiracy, greatness, and superiority. And the answer is conspiracy. Okay? An aside is basically when you give an information to the audience with another character, of course, on stage with you. So I can be on stage with you and I'm complimenting you on your beauty. And then I take a moment to look at the audience and I tell the audience that's a white lie from hell. Do you understand? Now the audience gets the message that the compliment I just gave you is not a genuine one. Now you on the other hand, the character on the other hand that is with me on stage is assumed not to have heard the other character whilst he's talking to the audience. Okay, so the instance when a character stops talking for a brief moment with another character on stage and speaks conspiratorially to the audience, the character is making use of a sight. Please note that in this case, the other character on stage is assumed not to have heard what the other character has said. More haste, less speed illustrate the use of anaphora, paradox, litotes, synecdoche, and the answer is paradox. And because when you look at this phrase, you'll be like, more is less speed. More is like, that means that I'm trying to hurry up. Okay, how can I still be having less speed? But when you now take, at first it doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you be trying to hasten up and then you're still not moving? Do you understand? And then you now realize that, oh, okay. Have you ever ran out of time before? Let's say you needed to meet an appointment and then you keep running, and it is at that moment you realize that, oh, I've forgotten my phone. You climb up, you come back to the house, you come back to the house, look for your phone, you go again. Is that maybe you are almost at the gate, you realize again that, oh, no, I didn't lock the door. You come back. So you realize that at the end of the day, you are still not making any progress, because the fact that you are hurrying up is really making you to forget some things, and at the end of the day, the purpose is still not achieved. Okay. Paradox is when a sentence doesn't make sense at the first glance, but when you take a closer look at it, it makes a whole lot of sense. Poetry gets bored of being alone. It wants to go outdoors to chew the wind. The mental picture evoked in the above lines is that of touch, smell and touch, sight and hearing, taste and touch, sight and taste. And the answer is sight and taste. Here we can deduce that there is a sense of sight and a sense of taste here. Going outdoor is you seeing other things, that you would ordinarily not see in the room. A novel that recounts the adventure of a likable rogue is panegyric, gothic, picaresque, grotesque, and the answer is at the fall of their house, the widow lost her husband, her sewing machine, and her earrings. And this illustrates bathos, epigram, pathos, and oxymoron. And the answer is bathos. This is basically when you list an item from its most important to its least important. An emphasis placed on a syllable in pronunciation is meter, rhythm, accent, and rhyme. And the answer is the strong gongs groaning as the guns boom far is an example of metonymy, refrain, epilogue, onomatopoeia. And of course, the answer is onomatopoeia. We have the gongs, we have it groaning, we have the guns, we have it boom. Okay, these are the sounds that are associated with each of these things. So when the sound suggests its meaning, when the gun booms, of course, we already know that there's been a shooting. Okay, so the sound of the shooting of the gun. So instead of them to have written it out that the gun was shot and the sound reverberated, they have just used the boom. Okay, so when the sound of a particular thing is used to represent that thing in place of that thing, then it is
Picaresque.
onomatopoeia. A poem about simple rural life is known as an epic, a pastoral, a sonnet, an ode, and the answer is a pastoral. Okay, when you look at the simple rural life, you just look at pasture. Pasture means grasses, right? You think about rural life, you see grasses, you see trees and all. So basically, that is the shortcut to knowing that the poem about simple rural life is known as pastoral, okay, from the word pasture. And with that, we've come to the end of this lesson. I hope you're able to learn one or two from this. I'll be dropping more
Accent.
exercises, and I hope that you will also watch, like, and share with your friend. If you find this video helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Press the like button and please drop a comment. Thank you and see you in my next video.